Well, the boys are officially back. I'm making my debut as Vinceric's podcast host, and see, we're already fucking up. The music is double backing, but we've done that
No,
before.
you needed more music for
We
your
need
live first
more
appearance.
music for the debut. Adam is not here. Adam is dealing with some SF business right now. Go do your thing. None other than Riss is joining me for some obviously LPGA Major Week, Wyndham Championship, 3M recap. So Riss, happy to be here. Let's talk some golf.
No, I'm very glad that you. Well, I guess just you were having me back. Didn't have me back for the Evian, which was probably for the best. But hopefully we can. I don't know. I don't know what we can do this week, but it can only get better.
Well, we talked about the Evian because early on in the season we weren't sure where it ranked out in the majors list. We had back and forth with it. So Adam and I were like, let's do our own thing. We'll see how we dial it in. I think we were close because we talked about Jeeno. Obviously, it didn't go well. Have we recovered? What's the deal? Like, what are we doing right now?
Maybe we can save this for. Let's save it for the LPGA section because I feel like this might
We need-
end up taking like 15
yeah,
minutes of the show. You know.
yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna start with the 3M Open. Obviously, that went down last week. I was watching a fair bit of it, had Akshay in the mix, and I don't mind the 3M Open. It's always usually a fun finish, a fun weekend of golf. And I was also on the record for saying Kurt had like no chance of winning. That was the first time he ever eclipsed minus 20 in his PGA Tour career. So I was like, nah, it's not a Kurt week because I saw he was popular going into the week. How much of the 3M Open did you watch, and what did you take from the event?
So I would say that the relationship I have with the 3M Open is slightly less invested than yours. I don't find it that fun to watch. It's a little bit bland for me, and I think I flipped it on when Akshay, because I had him as well, was
Mm-hmm.
on the second or third hole, and they showed the little leaderboard graphic. And when you see 10 names within one like stroke of each other with 15, 16 holes to go, it's just it's not serious, really.
It's not
Now
serious.
that's the
And then
negative. That's the negative part. But the pro side is I do think that 3M, the Deer, and then this week we'll get to Wyndham, obviously. But I think there's lots of kernels and seeds for if you're going to bet the fall swing, you can pick up a lot from what happens these 3 weeks.
no, I 100% agree because I think if you find a group of five or six names in the end of the season going to the fall swing, and just bet those names every single week, you will hit
Yeah.
one. And I always say that, but I never do it. I make different changes different weeks. Then the guy I like bet the first 2 weeks who look great will win the fourth week. And I'm like, why don't I just stick to my guns and just hit one winner? Because it's all I need in the fall. But
I have my
that's just
whiteboard here now. We'll write down the names and then make sure that we see it all the way through.
stick to our guns. Yeah, I think you're probably right because long game as always. But the real question of last week, and I know we'd probably be starting with this if Adam was here. Good or bad for his career, Joaquin Neiman, another win on Live. Horrible first career, in my opinion.
Uh, I'm going to take the opposite view. I think it's great for his career because if he doesn't keep winning on Live, then really, what does he have? He really just
True.
has middling major finishes. At least this way, it keeps him in the conversation. Like, I mean, it is absurd. It doesn't matter what league you're playing. Like, if you, I mean, 5 wins is 5 wins. And I will say this: like when Scotty, is ripping off 4 wins, he's doing it at a third of the price, half the price that Neiman has gone off of. So, like,
Right.
as gamblers, we should really, being like prayers up to Neiman.
Yeah, I was actually really close to starting with Waco last week and doing like a two-man card. He was 10-1. But then I went with a bigger card and I landed on 100-1 Bubba Watson. And that was sneaky like a sweat. He got within to 2 or 3 strokes of the lead on the back nine. And he made like two eagles, went like 6 under in 5 holes, like 9 through 14 or something like that. And I was like, all right, Bubba, like let's do this. But I don't really know how into live watching / betting are you?
I will watch it if it doesn't coincide with other events or other life events. I actually really like the events that are in Australia or in
Yeah.
Korea or whatever, because then you can flip it on at night. If you have some friends over, if you guys are having a few drinks or whatever, people might get into it with you. But otherwise, you can be ripping like 4 or 5 events a week, and when they're all at the same time, can be tough.
I totally agree. I love that part of the year, and I've talked about it with Adam before. Shout out Tin Roof Delray Beach. Always has the live on when I'm out there, like on the weekend. So I do miss that. We're gonna get back there soon enough. Did you hear Live South Africa was announced? I'm sure you heard or no?
No.
Yeah, just I got announced. I
Breaking news.
believe on Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure where it is, but obviously the South African team on Live, and they are very big, and they got their first event next. I'm not sure when it is. I'll start with research.
I think that your audio might be cutting out just a little bit there.
All right.
Now I can hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So they are having Live South Africa at Stain City, that's kind of disappointing. It makes sense that it's in, just outside Johannesburg in, the biggest metropolitan area. But Johannesburg golf, as I'm sure you know from watching the Euro, where they have the Joburg Open or whatever, is that Parkland style course where they could have taken it down into the Western Cape, Cape Town, or to the Garden Route and taken it to some really, really cool courses.
That would be nice.
Whatever.
So that is your Live South Africa preview.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Live South Africa. All right. Wyndham Championship, the event of the week. Before we get into the real event of the week, when you're looking at the Wyndham Championship, personally, I think it's one of the most straightforward, easy handicaps of the year. Hashtag Bermuda guys. Like, you know what you have to do at Sedgefield, but is there anything you're looking at differently than the driving in the fairway, get hot on approach, and make some putts on the Donnie Ross?
Well, I think that's just it. I guess the other wrinkle is, and this maybe factors into the, the dog factor, which I know is the model is set just for, are you in the mix? Are you going to win? But I think that there's some subcategories of dog. And so, like, obviously being the last regular season event, I think you kind of want to see are these guys that are going to be like grinding it, or the lights too bright if they're kind of in that, that 70 to 80 range kind of thing. So I think maybe that could be another wrinkle. But as you said, I'm only adding wrinkles because it really is so straightforward. But I do love this tournament. It always comes at a great time of year for me. It's when we have the floating long weekend. So we have a 4-day long weekend, inexplicably. It's always during the summer. Everyone's up during the lake. Everyone remembers, that cool flop shot Tiger hit, I think to make the cut or whatever. So I have a lot of fond memories of this tournament.
Yeah, this is always a good one. Usually a great finish. And you mentioned that like 60 to 80 range. I was looking at it before the pod, talked about it on another show I was on. And like, there's definitely some names that I'm sure you and I both, Adam and I both would resonate to, like Nico Echeverria, the Hoygaards, Alex Smalley, Davis Thompson. Do you think, how often do we see a guy who needs it actually do it? I feel like it's like they'll play well, but a guy who, like, say you're 75, you want to make it to the top 70. How often do we see that guy, that narrative actually come through? I feel like it's not often.
Let's go through it. So Rye last year was playing well. He was locked up, or at least he had his.
Yeah, right? he was there. He was there.
Okay,
I think Glover was close.
No, Glover was. This is kind of where we were looking at the Nuggets, because Glover went on a little heater. I think it started at the Deer, where he maybe had like a 5th finish. He had a bunch of top 10 finishes, and then he capped it off and then nailed it. Then maybe just to get into the playoffs, but he had been playing well. He had his card locked up for sure.
And then Tom Kim, he didn't need it.
No, he didn't need it.
Kisner, I don't remember, but the way the playoffs, he was probably in the 125, because that was 125. Now it's 70. It changes every year, and the players don't even know what to do anymore, because it changes like every damn year, and it probably will change again next year.
Yeah, and so then I'm thinking guys like Snedeker, they didn't need it. Siwoo didn't need it. JT Poston maybe was he?
Jim Herman probably needed it.
Weird COVID year though. We don't. I couldn't. You could tell me that Jim Herman was like 20th in the FedEx Cup point standing in 2020. I'd be like, sure. You could tell me he used 200. Sure.
Yeah. No. So I totally agree with you. Like, I don't know if I want to take too much into the narrative season of that, what we just said, but I think it's a good cross off if you're choosing between one or two guys. Yeah, go with the guy who needs it.
I would say the flip side. A guy like Alex Smalley, who makes sense. How does he do under pressure? Is he really a guy you want to be backing? I'm out on Smalley for that reason.
I want to talk about him. I guess this will be the bridge to the Wyndham Championship odds board. I'm on the record for saying Alex Smalley will never win on the PGA Tour. For reasons, he has little dog. I don't think he can perform under the pressure like you just said. But he plays at a Sedgefield. This is his home course. And it obviously asks the questions that Alex Smalley is great at golf. Like these are what he does well. Sedgefield. I'm willing to maybe give him a go at his home course. But then you say like the pressure thing, it's 77 or whatever he is. I could see both sides. I think I need a specific number to get there because I'm torn.
What number would get you there?
I think he's around 70 to 80. A little parlay action, get him to 100 or something like that. But I mean, at the end of the,
on 365.
We could. But I think he'll be a popular, or not a popular click, but a click on some people's cards this week. So I don't see it getting too much better than that 85. The field's not great, so it'll probably stay there, and I'll probably just pass. But you're out on Smalley completely.
I think so. Like I think if the number starts, I think what'll happen, you're probably right, is the number will shorten up a bit, and then I'll feel even better. He'll scare us maybe on Friday or Saturday, and then we'll bet his fourth round over total on Sunday, and then that's how we make our money on Smalley.
That's how we make our money if he makes the cut. All right. Well, Wyndham Championship odds board. Before we get into any names, like this odds board is extremely DP. We're starting at 22 to 1. I love this odds board. I think it's really fun. There's a lot of interesting names, interesting ways to start. Just thoughts on this odds board in general before we jump into like the top or some names.
You have Hideki in the summer at 35 to 1.
I'm with you. No,
don't say anything further.
And like, it's not like he's playing bad golf. The dude is.
It also doesn't matter.
Like he's striping. It doesn't matter. Then that's the Wyndham, and that's your Wyndham preview. Hideki.
It might be 35. Like number might even get better. I don't know. It's been drifting.
And we've seen Hideki in the past go to courses where he's putt really poorly and then find it for a given week. And that's all we need. I truthfully think that's all we need. And I'll take that chance at 35 to 1. Truthfully.
Yeah.
You're in on Decky? I'm with you.
I'm in on Decky for sure.
Anyone else above Decky, like the Fitz, the Keegans, that bent, like if you have to pick one of those guys, who you like?
Like Ben Griffin makes a ton of sense. Do we think his heater's over?
This is a real question.
You can't answer that. You can't answer that. I know you guys are boys, but
no, I think it's fair. I don't think his heater's over. I think this is a great golf course for him. If anything, I thought Goddard's heater could have been over. Shout out the experts last week, but it was a great golf course for him, and he played really well. This is a great golf course for Ben Griffin after a bit of a slow stretch, but a great year. I think he knows this is one more week to make a case. So I think Ben Griffin's probably on the team. But what if one of Ben Griffin, if Ben Griffin's not on the team, one of Ben Griffin or Andrew Novak wins this week? What do we do? Like, do we get two of those three guys, Griffin, Novak, Goddard, and no Cantlay, no Morikawa?
As fun as it is to wish, dream, you and I both know that's just not going to happen.
I agree with you, but also I see like Keegan got slighted. I can see him being like, yeah, fuck you guys. I'm doing my thing. I'm taking these young guys.
If Keegan does that, I mean, this maybe too much like weight goes into like the captain's position in these team events. But if Keegan does that and he picks himself and he offloads the usual captain's like responsibilities, and then the Euros come out hot in the foursomes, like it will go down as like the worst captaincy, which I don't think is fair. I think Keegan is a good fit for the captain. Yeah. I think he tries hard. I think he's going to be well prepared. But if things like break bad, it could go down as just looking like what a disaster.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, and it'd be tough if that happened because coming off of ZJ wasn't great, and then if we go back to back with bad and bad, then it is just Tiger from there. I don't know, but we will get back to that. And Phil, that would be beautiful. I think you do a great job. That would be fucking awesome. But back to the Wyndham. Three guys here, like the second third of guys: Aaron Rai, Robert McIntyre, Jordan Spieth. Any of those guys catch your eye? Obviously, Rai back-to-back not going to happen. Too many birdies for Bob Mack. And
did he even really win last year, Rai?
Right. Well, Billy let him win.
Yeah, Billy kind of got it. I don't know. The one name I was looking at, like, just out of a general rule of you play him at these courses, I know the form isn't quite great. Is 60 enough for you to go back to JT Poston?
I thought solidly of JT Poston, and I don't really mind JT Poston's form ever. I think he's a microwave. I think when he gets hot, like
Yeah,
on hole like hole 1 through 5,
yeah,
like you know what JT Poston's week will be off of the first few holes of the week. And I think that it's a fair number. He's a winner. He likes the Bermuda, obviously won here. So I think I can give JT Poston a look, but I also want to talk about in the middle of this range, in the middle of the
sure.
odds board, some of the young guns. Like I think this is a great course for young guns who are super ignorant with the driver and just hit it when they probably shouldn't. But when it's going well, it's going well. It's a matter of can they make putts on the Donnie Ross. But I like the Thorbjornsons, the Clantons, the Koivens of the world. I mean, we saw Clanton play really well here last year, but I love the ignorant driving of the young guns on a course like this. They played really well historically on like these shorter positional courses per se.
Yeah, and the only concern I have with that, and I mean Clanton of all people is the one that kind of nukes my narrative, so to speak. But is Donnie Ross greens being a bit more nuanced, a bit trickier.
Yeah.
First timers sometimes it scares me, but with I mean, honestly, Matt, like this field is like not that good.
Yeah. And Hideki's 35-1. Why are we still talking?
Yeah, yeah, like
I'm with you. I'm with you. And this is a course where even like long-time PGA Tour professionals will lose 9 strokes putting in a week because the greens
yeah,
are that intense. So yeah, with that being said, I worry about the young guns, but I think there's some decent names. I'm gonna go through some more, and I think this is a fair. They're around the same odds. A fair hypothetical 3-ball, which Adam and I do a lot. Sam Steven 50-1, great week. Ryan Gerard, North Carolina guy, and Cameron Young, all 50-1 currently on DraftKings. Pick one of those guys. Who is it?
oh, this feels so gross, but I think Cam Young.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Like
I like Cam
Gerard
Young.
is not a good putter. He is not a
No,
good putter. And I like statistically, yes, it doesn't sound like I'm saying anything groundbreaking, but I was watching the Cuda. He was not hitting like his stroke
who
didn't
wasn't
look
watching
great.
Nakuda?
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
Yeah.
his stroke did not look good. He looked like he was putting like a 12-year-old kid where, they kind of like pulled their head back on
Mm-hmm.
the follow through. He does that. He doesn't look like a tour pro. He doesn't pass the eye test, and clearly the numbers don't support it. There was no way he could choke away the Cuda with the Stableford scoring system, with the 2 eagles he had on Sunday. I'm just, what, Gerard, in a real normal 72 hole event, I'm out.
So you're not a Gerard guy. That's what I'm getting. The vibe. You're not a Gerard guy.
No, I could be like
You could be.
if
He's a
he improves
flusher.
his putting.
He is, but he's proven to be able to put on Bermuda. That's his surface, and we're on Bermuda now. I don't know if these are the greens where I want to run Gerard out. I'll say that much, but he's a flusher. I think he'll hit it well. With that being said, Cam Young is my pick here. I love Cam Young. Like remember last year he played so well, comical eject, which is no surprise,
That doesn't
but
matter though.
it doesn't
You want
matter.
to see if you see his name like up in the top 10 for 70% of the tournament with Cam Young,
Yeah,
like that's really what matters because it's going to go up in flames if it's on the 17th hole on Saturday or the 17th hole on Sunday. It's going to happen, but you want to at least feel something. And I could
no.
see him getting in there deep on Sunday and then lighting himself on fire.
Cam Young, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated wedge players on tour. Even though
So good.
his stats might back that up and say he's a good wedge player, but he doesn't get touted enough for being a great wedge player. Like I truthfully love him from like 85 to 125 yards so much. I one time this take drive from one time, not a range reporter. One time I was being a range reporter and watching Cam Young hit just 100-yard wedges, and he hit this flag at 100 yards like 10 straight times. And I was like, this guy has this wedge on a stick. And I was like, wedge player forever. And he's proven to play well on courses like that in his career. So
Yeah.
I'm with you, Cam Young. With you
Yeah.
on Cam Young. 3 more names down here. I want to ask your opinion on. Pick one. Tony Finau, Davis Thompson, Max Homa. And I'm also going to throw in Jesper Svensson. 4 names, around 65-1. Not really a great course fits, but somewhat trendy.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually on Jesper Svensson last week. He played pretty good. He did a very typical Euro thing where, as you know, Euros are not scared of the water. They like to go for a swim often, and he did that, and that happened.
Easily.
So there's not that much water here.
No.
I don't think. No, there's not that much water. Max is kind of trending, but I feel like we would have seen it if he's going to have the breakout and get it done. Like we would have seen it. Maybe like it's going to happen. He's going to either find it by 2026 or it's just gone.
He's been showing the signs. You just can't put it all together. I think I'm with you there. I think 2026 it's there or it's gone. So we'll have a good maybe the fall. He could be a fall guy.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he finds it back in Napa or something, takes on Scotty, loses, but mojo back.
What are his odds going to be in Napa? Oh my god!
So, and what were the first two names? Sorry, Matt.
Tony Finau, Davis Thompson, Jesper, and Max Homa.
Okay, yeah. So I also bet Davis Thompson last week. That's
Me
fun.
too.
And I bet Tony Finau last week. So that's fun. I will say that Finau famously, has never switched up his putting. It always looks terrible and usually performs terribly. But he was using a putting device that you and I have used together, the one that you stick under your arms to utilize your core. That gave me some confidence. So on that alone, I'm going to say Finau.
Okay, I like it. Finau, great number. I'll go with Davis. I'm the recent ball striking is a little bit concerning, but I'm not worried about what it was Portrush and it was the 3M Open, which is the 3M Open's a very volatile course. You hit the ball twice in the wrong spot and you're boned. So I can live with that from Davis. I'll probably go with him because I'm just like higher on his like current younger ceiling than Tony's, but I don't mind Tony's. 3 more. I think this is a good one right here. Bud Cauley, Andrew Novak and Rico Hoey, all 70-1. I love the first 2 guys that I mentioned, Bud and Andrew Novak. But I'll throw in Rico there too because he's doing nothing but stripe. He might lose 17 strokes on these greens, but he could gain 17 ball striking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with Rico Hoey unless it's at Mexico. I was there for the Kuta ride. It was impressive to shoot 4 or 5 over at that course was breathtaking stuff. Truly breathtaking. Like not good.
Yeah. I had him too. And that's 2 straight weeks. I had the 54-hole co-leader, Rico and Akshay, and they were quick ejects. They were not even sweats, which like I'm cool with. Like get my guy in the mix and get out of there. Don't put me through it. Don't put me to Tommy at Travelers. Don't want that. If you're gonna eject, do what you did, Akshay. Do what you did, Rico Hoey. So, but who's your pick out of those 3 if you have to pick one?
Give them to me again. I'm thinking here.
Rico, Novak, and Bud Cauley.
I was gonna say Bud Cauley. Feels like a Bud Cauley week. Yeah.
Feels like a Bud Cauley course. Like he's having a great season. Great resurgence season. Shout out Bud. And like this golf course ask Bud questions. Like I think it's
it's basically get it in the fairway, hit it good from 100 to 150 yards, like wedges, right? And then putt. And that's what he does.
Yeah. All right. Close to triple digits now. A few names that kind of catch some people's eye. Crazy that Webb Simpson's 90-1 in this field, but I get it. I do get it. Nico Echeverria, Matt Kuchar will probably play well, and then Chris Kirk. I think those are 3 names that will be. I don't think Kuchar's going to be popular, but I could see Kirk and Nico Etch garnering some love. Kirk and Nico Etch need it. They're on the bubble. They're like just past 70, I believe. Any love there?
So as soon as I heard Nico, I set him out because he's probably going to be the most popular player like this week. He might be most tipped, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to this in a second. Kuchar, I mean, he showed signs of life, and then really he was the story of the tournament last year. He did make it about him.
He truly made it about him.
And he's been like popping and flashing like a little bit during the summer. I think that we are going to see a Kuchar. And I'm not going to invest any money with Kuchar, but I'm going to be monitoring him because, again, for the fall, I think we could see something from Kuch. I don't think old man time is totally wound back the clock.
Yeah, I agree with you, but there's never like a world when like, damn, I want to actually put money on Matt Kuchar just to hopefully.
No, why would?
Right, but then he'll get in the mix, and I still won't feel like I'm missing out, but still, like I just don't want to put money on Matt Kuchar. But anyone like around this 100 to 150 range that you want to touch on, before
kind of, yeah. And this is you can tell me I'm wrong, because it might have been something that I just dreamed up, but I feel like Adam had pulled out a nugget when we were handicapping Amex, and said that there was a big overlap between ball striking approach at Amex with this week. So we saw.
I do remember that.
Am I right?
Yeah, I remember. I do remember that.
Okay,
Something
so
along those lines, I believe.
something along
So
those
Jackson
lines.
Suber.
Okay. Jackson Suber. Then who else? Well, I guess Smalley probably hit it good if he finished. He was almost in the top 10 that week,
Yeah.
I think. Carson Young. Brian Griffin hit it really good at Amex. So, I mean, the numbers support it beyond just the trend. And then people you won't like, Greyserman, he's probably going to be super popular.
Back to back. He's a Donnie Ross man, though. He loves Donnie Ross.
Yeah, he's not a cart path man, though. Does not
Not
like
a cart path.
paths.
No.
Walking only. Cam Davis.
What is Cam Davis's number? He
got to be 200. He's been bad.
170. But what's Cam Davis been up to now that like we think of Cam Davis? But this is a golf. He loves club down courses. Like this is a course for him. And you don't got to sell me. You don't got to sell Adam on Cameron Davis. You know that. And if you're giving me this kind of approval, he has not gained strokes ball striking since the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. He's a little bit lost, but he's got decent results here. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
Maybe this is where we'll hope to see that there's an Instagram clip or a PGA Tour video, and they'll show Cam Davis hitting one really, really saucy wedge shot, and we all just hop on board.
I'm totally with you there. I have a nugget on Jackson Suber though, actually, that might sell you. His two best putting results of his season were at Amex. No, sorry, they were at Sony, Bermuda, and Detroit, Donnie Ross. So one thing about Wyndham, Donnie Ross, Bermuda.
For Suber, he hits a pretty hard slinging ball, right? He hits a slinging draw.
He's accurate though. He's pretty accurate off the tee.
But like even with these fairways, because like they do have some contours to them, right?
Carams,
like can his slinging draw stay in the fairways?
I think that's the question of the week, and that's what the question everyone's been talking about. Can Suber's slinging draw stay in the fairway? Headlines. That's the question we're gonna have to see. I can't answer that. That's a true wait and see. That might be the title of this pod.
Yeah. Can slingers stay in play? And then I also had noted, Rio is going to be most tipped, but he has like LGN form, he has Amex form, and then Wyndham form. But like obviously it makes sense. And I think the last time Rio was seriously most tipped was like in Japan when he was 200 to 1, and then he missed the cut. I do have a question for you, Matt. I don't want to derail things too much, but I do have a question.
Derail.
The nuance of you, I would say that I'm anti-chart, but you are like the chart is like the anti.
It's the holy grail. Yes.
Yeah. Is there any
charts? Any?
Yeah, I know. Is there any nuance to the chart? Like if you like, let's say this for example. Let's say that there was, for whatever reason, the books hung a 13 to 1 on Scotty Scheffler at Memorial.
Right. And
it was all legal. It wasn't being voided. And people were posting to Twitter as fast as their little fingers could go. Would you click it?
Yeah, maybe if there was a blatant outlier and like just like that's more of like a money making hack than just like the week to week golf betting than anything. But I will say, like I never bet until the chart comes out. But last week, I found a 90 to 1 on Jacob Bridgman, and I bet that on like Tuesday morning. And then he was like 60, 55 everywhere. And then he was chart, cashed it out. So, but also like Kurt was chart, and they got the win. So shout out the chart. Shout out Andy. You do God's work. But I don't. The reason I don't bet the chart is not because like I don't think anyone is capable of hitting a winner. I don't think popular guys can't win. It's only because I'm not the best golf better in the world. It's just simply a way for me to eliminate names. Like, and that's the only reason I hit winners is narrowing down names to a certain number, and that gets me off of certain guys. That's all it is.
No, I hear you, but like just by eliminating names, you could take that you're not going to bet anyone whose last name, is beyond F. Like you're only going to bet on players that start with A, B, C, or D. Like, I mean, you could do that. That eliminates things as well.
I've been there. Like sometimes I'll have weeks where like I won't bet anyone. Like on DP, I don't bet anyone sub 30 to 1. I sometimes will wave split only PM AM, only AM PM. rarely, but like if there is a world for me to eliminate names that has the smallest inkling in my brain, I'm going to go with it. And like right now, I mean, through 4 years, straight years, it's been working. This year I need one more winner to get back into the green. So we
Okay.
have some time. But I'm not going to switch up the strategy just yet. But I mean, what are your thoughts on the chart? Like, are you?
I don't like that. I don't like the chart. It's like it's something that it's a major red flag. But there have been a few times where I have rocked the chart, or I've gone with the chart. I think Pock Eater in Mexico was chart,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to miss on like Pock Eater's my guy. I love him, and
I
it
mean,
was a great
something just
number.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a great number. I don't know if Pock Eater was charted at Rocket, but
He
I was
wasn't.
going to bet him.
Should have been on him.
I bet him there. So I mean, like there are guys that I will just first clicks if the numbers are right, then I just do it, and then kind of when you're filling in the card, then that's kind of when I'm against the chart.
No, I think that's fair. And like, I've built this brand. I've built this thing about me. Like, I'm not just gonna go back. Like I stand on these takes. I stand on these bridges. I sometimes they're great, sometimes they're awful. But it is what it is. That's the chart. That's the Wyndham. It's time for the real conversation. This could be a long one. We have the women's
Well,
open.
let's finish the before we finish it. Hideki 35 team play.
Team play, and I think that we should put in the timestamps. Skip ahead to here because we're talking about Hideki, then skip to here. So
yes,
Hideki 35. Disregard everything else about the Wyndham.
But
I want you to
make
tell
it
me
Vince Eric's team parlay, and Hideki is the men's leg for sure.
This parlay is going to be national. I'm excited for this.
Okay, let's
so
find
we're in Wales this week, right? We're in Wales this week.
Yep.
Tell me all you know about this.
Okay. So Royal Porthcawl, 49th Women's Open. It is. It's been a major since 2001 when they stole the major that used to be the Canadian Women's Open. Used to be a major, no longer. Now we have the British Open or the Open, whatever. Royal Porthcawl on the coast of Wales. And Porthcawl, as you can probably imagine, it has never hosted a women's open, but it has hosted the seniors open, hosted in 2023. Alex Chayka won. Harrington was runner-up. It hosted it in 2017. Langer won when he was the best senior golfer. I mean, he still might be, maybe not. And it also hosted, and I knew you'd like this part, the amateur boys. So, like,
I think I saw that. Was that recently?
2016.
2016. Okay, I think I.
The equivalent of the USM. So let me just read you some of the names of players that either played, that finished in the top 16, or made it to the match play. Connor Seam,
Flusher,
Antoine Rosner,
Cutmaker,
Harry Hall,
okay,
Cam Davis, Robert McIntyre, Moronk.
Oh my god.
You and Ferguson.
That is a list. So
yeah,
that might be the barometer event that we need to look at going forward in the future.
Yeah.
That is a list beyond belief.
I kind of think that I was looking at it. I was like, I think that there has been a week where collectively Vince Eriks has bet all of those players on various tours at the same week.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a fact. I that is hilarious. That is a great group of what year was that? 2016 you said?
2016, yeah.
2016. All right, so Royal Porthcawl in Wales, and you're seeing early wins. Is that the vibe?
Yeah, early wins. It looks like it's coming from the northwest, which is the prevailing wind in the area, or so my 40 minutes of initial research has led me to believe. Looks like it's going to be about 15 miles per hour. Not seeing a wave split just yet, but this is something, I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but the weather forecasts this year have been bad. Like,
yes,
if you have faded the weather forecast and the wave splits, you would have done really well. So all I'm saying right now is there is going to be wind, but how we break it up and how many outs you want to give yourself, or how committed you want to be to the supposed edge, I would caution people against that, I think. I think more broad scale, what we're looking at is you want players who can play in the wind. Everyone's going to have to play in some wind. In terms of the wave split, I think that's secondary, and don't worry about that really right now. The course itself, it doesn't have the dunes or the lining like Portrush does, but it is very much a links. It's a Harry Colt design, about 6,700 yards. We're going to see how long it actually plays, whether it's the RNA moving it up. But the RNA is usually pretty good about providing a test. And then what's going to happen with the rain and then the rough on the sides of the fairways. But about 35-yard fairways, the biggest penalties are the collection bunkers. The bunkers really are like one-stroke penalties. You're wedging out. When I looked at this course, the vibes I got were Muirfield. So maybe this is a mini Muirfield of sorts. And Muirfield did host the Women's Open in 2022. And again, this kind of goes back to the chart, because if we are looking at the numbers, the people who were hit early were the gals that played well in Muirfield. So kind of stinks when that happens. But I think ultimately the recipe is going to be, it's not distance, because I think there's going to be enough wind that it's going to not make every bunker, carryable.
Okay.
The course is also set up like Muirfield in the sense that, the standard lengths, they go out and then they come back in. So you're really dealing with two wind directions. This has more of a try routing. So you are going to face crosswinds, winds in different directions, and at least 6 of the holes. So you're not going to be able to, if you can't hit the ball when the wind's coming off the left, like, you're not going to be able to play well. You need to be a wind player, period.
Aussies in the wind.
There's a few I like. Yeah.
I want, based on everything you just said, and then we'll get into the names. If you just named what you said and you said, Matt, make a card, don't do any more research. I don't know the ROI on it, but I would go Jeeno, Lydia Ko, two-man card. That would be it. Thoughts?
I think the ROI would be about maybe just over
9. Yeah, or maybe lower.
No, you can get a 30 on. You can get a 30 on Lydia, I think, on DraftKings,
30?
And then you can get a 10 on Jeeno. Yeah.
All right. Well,
so do you want me to pull up the odds, because these?
No, not even the odds. Just for pull up the odds for the field. But what are your thoughts on Jeeno and Lydia? If that was my card.
I mean, I went there with Jeeno. I don't know if I can go back. Yeah. My voice breaks. I almost go into tears. Yeah, no, I mean, you get someone in the playoff. You have someone when they're minus 10,000 on the 18th tee. Usually that means things went well.
We haven't even. Is it time to talk about it a little bit?
Let's do it. Let's get it. I got to get it off my chest, because
go ahead.
It's been bad. I have been running bad on the LPGA tour. And it's crazy the knock-on trickle-down effects that happen. Like, your dog doesn't really greet you at the door as warmly. Like, your mom stops inviting you over for dinner. Your friends don't text you to hang out when stuff like this happens. And I thought the cold streak was coming to an end. And to have it happen where I think, 6 under in 7 under in her last 6 holes, Grace Kim. And Jeeno did all the right things. She beat Lottie, who maybe might be the best player ever. We don't know yet.
Potentially.
And to have the putt, on 18 in regulation, a pretty easy 8-footer that didn't even touch the hole. And then you just know. It's like there's a train coming at you and you can't move off the tracks. And that's what I felt.
And it was, if you had 1 in a million guesses as to what that train would be, you would have never guessed the train that was coming in that playoff. And it took a while to hit me, because my viewing scenario was, you guys all know, Adam and I were in Northern Ireland finishing up Boots. And that Sunday, the viewing situation wasn't great. We were flipping between the Scottish Open. I was trying to watch Liv. I had a Rom at Valderrama and got her up at the Scottish. It was a lot going on, and I was getting updates from you. I was trying to check my phone. We looked great, and then the highlights came up 20 minutes after the tournament, and I saw she had lost. I had to walk out. I had to walk out of the pub that we were in because it wasn't great. It was a really tough scene. It's
It,
I don't
it
have
was
many words.
the worst part about it. No, the worst part about it is that like I was just sitting there watching it, like, okay, yeah, this is happening. Like I know what's going to happen. Once Jeeno missed the putt on 18. I knew it was going to happen, but then I still had some live sweats on the Scottish, and I had some money invested in the Wimbledon final, and I just knew I was like, you know what, I'm going to lose both these bets. Like it's just when it's one of those days, it's one of those days. And I was just like staring at the wall, like what is going, like actually what is happening here? I don't even feel pain. It just was like numbness.
Did you listen to any of I did because I didn't any Jeeno quotes after that round or since then? How is she?
I tried to avoid it, but I think she had a post on social media, and she said that this one, she's a very upbeat person. I don't think that this is going to affect her long term. Like honestly, I don't. She's so young and so talented. Like I don't think it's going to affect her. But she said like this one hurts. Is Evian's my favorite major. And she said on to the next one kind of thing. So Jeeno, I mean, I think that Jeeno Muirfield was T7. So she has some links chops. I mean, that you're going Lydia though, because don't you never go back to back?
Yeah. She won this last year?
Yeah, we were on her.
We were on. I don't remember that. So
Therefore,
you answered my question. Then I'm not going back to Lydia. See, this is why we have you on the LPGA pod. I'm not the LPGA guy. I probably should have known that Lydia won last year. But before we get into the odds board, I have another question. We mentioned her already. Just give me the state of the union, Lottie Woad. Just do the case. What's the deal? What is her future? Talk to me. All right, little technical difficulties. That seems to be some of the ethos of the pod. Recently, we're dealing with a lot of things, but we're a high dog pod. We deal with it. We overcome. I was asking Rist, give me the Lottie Woad State of the Union case. Just she's the favorite of the event now, I believe. What's the deal? Like, tell me all the Lottie Woad stuff.
Okay, opened at 11-1 this morning on Bet365, has been steamed down to 6-1 on Bet365. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah,
I think on the American books, the best you can find is an 8 on her. Her last 3 events in Europe, professional events, wins the LET Irish by, I think she won by 7. She finishes second at Evian, was legitimately one swing away from being in the playoff or maybe even winning it if she hits her driver in the fairway on 18. Was the leader for most of the day there, and then dog walked the field in Scotland, and now we're going to Wales. Last I checked, that's also in Europe. Wins in her first pro start. I mean, we saw Rose Zhang when she won her first pro start that seemed like the world was, falling over, that she was going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That didn't really go so well, but I get the sense that Lottie is a little bit more cool and calm, maybe.
So what's her game? Like, what is her style of play for the people who don't know?
She has a swing that's a little bit funky, which to me is a good thing, because you see a player with a young swing that's a little funky. What that means is like they aren't just a position bought. They're not just being coached into a model with some talent. It means that they've hit a ton of balls. They've grooved their swing, and she has that. So she's a long hitter. She's a really good iron player, and she's certainly hitting her irons well. I mean, she spiked hard. She gained, I think, 2 this week. And then she seemingly is putting well now too, which had kind of been the issue. But in her last 2 starts anyway, she gained over 1 both weeks. So both at Evian and then also at the Scottish. So I mean, it's an obscene number. It's a hype number. It's obscene.
Right.
Like
it gives us opportunity. That's what it gives us opportunity is what it means to me. But is she a link specialist or is she really good at golf?
She finished T10 at the Open at St. Andrews last year. If you consider the Open, or if you consider St. Andrews links, I don't know. I mean, obviously it is, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I think here here you need to be, a proper player with your irons in the links context. You don't need that at St. Andrews. I mean, obviously she could do it. I mean, she won on a quasi links in Ireland, more a proper links in Scotland. I mean, she can do it. It just, to me, I think of British players as having so much pressure on them, particularly, young players, young stars. You think about like Raducanu in tennis, or Andy Murray, or Justin Rose. Like, it's a ton of pressure.
Right.
If she can do it, credit to her. I mean, I think at that point, just watch as a fan, watch great golf as a fan. But I'm not going to bet against her. I mean, how can you? But I'm not going to put my money there.
All right, big three then, outside of Lottie, Nelly, Jeeno, Minjee. Is there a love for one of them? Is there a starting our card with one of them? Because we have numbers where we can get to on the three. We went to Minjee last week. We went to Minjee last week, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. She had a good start, and then she kind of fell off. But what's the vibe with her? What's the vibe with this big three?
Minjee's playing really well. This week was what she is known for is her approach play. So it can get a little bit, again, the LPGA stats are not great to begin with,
as we know.
But it can get a little bit noisier. Yeah, it can get a bit noisier if they, disproportionately punish some shots from being in the rough, in terms of the strokes gain calculation. She did lose strokes, is my long way of saying she lost strokes with her iron. So if you want to say that was just a one-off, she was third at Evian. Minjee played really well in the Muirfield British. I think she was fourth there. She's an Aussie in the wind, and she's putting these. Even last week when she didn't play great, she putted well. So, I mean, there's a 16 on Minjee. I don't know if I can go back. I might be trying to stay away from the top of the board in general, but Minjee 16 makes sense. You're probably not going to lose money on Minjee doing that. Nelly, she has been putting well the last 2 weeks. It's been her approach play that has been really letting her down, which is not really what people think of. No, I mean, this course, if we get some footage and it seems that she can cover all the cross bunkers, then okay, I could be interested. The one thing that I do really like about Nelly is that famously she does not like playing outside America, and she played the Scottish for the first time. So that shows me that, she's trying, she wants it. And 14 is not a bad number.
Where is that? 365?
Personally, I would just wait until, yeah. I would just wait until we get to the Florida mini swing and just bet her there. You're going to get great numbers on her there and just single bullet her. Well, and then Jeeno, I mean, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. Especially, I think that, with links play and, this course being linksy where there is enough randomness, I think it's not like Portrush where it was aerial in front of you. Like this, there are runoff areas. There are spots where you get a wonky bounce, your ball goes in the bunker, and just like the margins of that fine. I think you want more bullets in the chamber rather than that single bullet on a top dog. So that's going to keep me away from Jeeno.
Okay, fair. Before I go into like listing names and asking you what your opinions on them, like we usually do, I want you to run through the next range or so and just list off a few girls that you can potentially get to that you want to touch on, like you would write up early in the week. Just some quick profiles on this next like 20 to 50 or 60 range. Not every name, obviously, but a few.
I'll fire some off here. Okay, Angel Yin has played 3 events in the last, I think, 3 months, and they were all majors, and she's finished top 10 in all of them. That is good. Ariadne Tanagarn, former winner of the Women's Open, has 7 top 10s and no wins, but 7 top 10s in her last 12 events.
She played well last week, correct?
She did.
She backdoored it. Did we have her? Yeah.
Yeah, semi-backdoored it. She had a chance for a bit, but I think that the books are really not respecting her enough. When you see some of the names ahead of her who are not, proven winners, I could get back there in the 30s. HJ Kim, I think there's a 28 on her on DraftKings. She is a link specialist. She's got top 5s at the Women's Open. I think that she was fourth in 2023, I want to say. And she always plays really well during this European swing. She's an Evian winner. I think she's now finished inside the top three times at the Scottish. That could be a good number. But again, that's more of a number where let's wait to see what the wind's doing, see if there's a wave split. That's not just a click it, right away kind of thing.
Right.
And then Lydia at 30, you already said you're not going to go there. I could be tempted if we get a bit more drift. What I do worry about with Lydia is these cross bunkers and her driving being a little bit loose, that if it gets, clicked off by one, it's not like you just need to hit it 40 yards in front of you and one way or the other. Like you need to avoid certain areas. I worry about Lydia being able to do that, but the number might just be the number. That's kind of the top of the board, I think.
Decky Lydia parlay top 5. That could be.
Oh, very interesting. But the problem with that is that both those people don't finish in the top 5. They just win.
They win. It's either it's all or nothing. Yeah. Shit, you're not wrong. Okay, I'm gonna list off some names too. Charlie will be popular. Or
she's drifted. There's like a 50 on her now.
I don't. If there's a win, I think she has probably no chance unless it's Bomber Central, which we don't think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I mean, on paper, she is a good iron player in the wind. She won the Saudi event in the wind. I mean, it was a weak field, but it was windy, and she did win. And she's a good slow greens putter. But again, I don't think she's a great putter under the gun. The number might be the number. I mean, 50 for Charlie to 1 for a Brit is crazy. But
yeah,
it's kind of like, would you bet Tommy at 50 to 1 for the Open?
Yeah, I figured that was coming. It makes sense. All right, some other names that catch my eye. Madeline Sagstrom, 80 to 1 on DraftKings, as well as Lynn Grant, 90, staple of the pod. A girl that and then Patty T, 120.
Okay, well, so starting with Madeline Sagstrom, I'll ask for your thoughts here. So Madeline Sagstrom, she finished, I think that she was at the Muirfield. She was in the top 10 at the Muirfield Women's Open. She was second at Carnoustie. She recently finished second at the Irish event, the LET event, where she got beat by 7 by Lottie. Okay. And her number on Bet365 went from 80 to 66. So if there was an LPGA most tip chart, the men responsible off. Nana Kurtz-Madsen, she played nice last week.
She was leading for a while, right?
Yep. Nana Kurtz-Madsen in the 90s, triple digits, always down. Patty T, I think that the driver might just be a bit too loose.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Some names I wanted to pitch at you because I know that these are some of our girls. Se Young Kim, who we've stopped betting recently.
Okay. Yes, we did. Have a big run with her. Because of the driver, you said?
Because of the putter. But she finished, was it second or third last week? Something like that. And I think she was second or third. And last week she gained almost 3 putting.
Okay.
It's slow greens.
Positive sign.
Slow links greens. And she's 70 on DraftKings. I'm interested. She has a runner-up finish at the Open. So she's a bit of a linkster. I mean, that number might be the number. Lauren Coughlin is hitting it amazing. She's flushing it. She was backdoor top 10. Yeah, 70, I think, and backdoor top 10. She lost 3 putting at Evian. She's usually a good putter. She lost, I think, half a shot at the Scottish putting, but she is spiking with her irons every week. She plays well off uneven lies. This is a good course for her.
Okay, and she's Irish, correct?
Lauren Coughlin?
Yeah, she's American.
Very much American. Very much American.
Who's the Irish girl that we bet?
Leona McGuire.
I get them confused. Leona.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, they're both kind of match play savants.
I'm not sure. That's on me. So you like her? Is there anyone else that you wanted to mention? Because I have one that I want to mention too.
Well, I liked Inji Chun when she was 200 this morning, as she has the chance to win the Grand Slam this week.
Wow, and now she's 100 on DraftKings.
AKA, you know what happened. If you know, you know. So
Yeah,
we're there.
we
We're not
do.
doing that. Takeda 55. I think that's a number bet. I think I have to bet that.
I was gonna. That was one of the ones I brought up.
Takeda Decky. I mean, she was 11th Evian. So she's
How old is she?
21, 20. Like she's young.
Yeah.
And she is already fit for pro golf. When she was winning at the Blue Bay in China, she was applying lipstick on like the 13th hole. Like she was getting ready for the winner pick.
Dialed.
Like what a queen!
Dialed.
What a queen!
Yeah. No, I'm at that.
The other name, hometown favorite, Darcy Harry. I think 170 to 1. What we need to find out is Skov Olesen caddying for her. Because then we have a Welsh player with Skov on the bag. Then we might have to talk about it.
She's the Welsh who's been winning a lot with Skov. And Skov obviously famously won the Open Championship. So it's great vibes.
Well, that could actually parlay us into another segment here, but maybe I'll save that for the end.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you about I could see a similar run coming from Ingrid that we saw from Lottie. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. The only thing is, and this is a weird thing this year, is that on the LPGA Tour, there have been 20 official events.
Okay.
This year. There have been 20 unique winners. We do not have a repeat winner.
That's going to change this week.
So Ingrid already won. So do you want her to be the first to 2?
I think it's the Young Guns. It's a Young Gun week.
Okay, I like it.
We should make the Japan parlay and the Young Gun parlay. Those could be 2.
I like it. There's got to be a Young Gun like Swede that we can pair with Ingrid.
There's definitely a Young Gun Swede. There's got to be. There's got to be.
Right. You always bet Georgia Hall. She's a former Open winner. She always mixes on links. This is the time of year she plays. There's like a 150 on her. It's not a bad bet, or a top 5 kind of thing. That's never a bad bet.
It's funny seeing not our girl, Alexa around 600 to 1 now.
That seems short.
Seems short. Yeah. What about Maya? 200. Maya 200?
We're betting that for sure.
Okay. She's like, win?
Yeah, she won in Northern Ireland in 2022.
Where?
Like on a links course. Castle Rock, I think.
Oh.
They used to have a Euro Tour event there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You guys have been cruising around there. So, I mean, linksy enough, right?
Yeah.
But I was saving this for the end because I've only made one bet so far.
Yeah. Close us out. Let's hear it.
100 to 1 on DraftKings. The best links player of all time.
Let me guess. Is it still 100 to 1?
Still 100 to 1 on DraftKings. Yeah. Try and guess.
I mean,
I'll give you some hints.
There's only 4.
Has won 4 Australian Women's Opens that have been on the sand belt. So linksy golf. It's won 4.
I don't know. I'm not going to guess. Just tell me.
She has won 2 Women's Opens. She took 5 years off from playing the Open and then came back and finished 3rd and then 2nd. That was last year in 2023. She's 100 to 1.
That is serious, dog. I don't know who this girl is because I'm not an LPGA savant, but why don't you enlighten us?
G.A. Shin, 100 to 1.
G.A. Shin. I see her 100 to 1. Why did she storyline? Backtrack. What's the deal?
Used to be the number 1 player in the world, like won 5 majors, I think, kind of around the 20 teens sort of thing, 2008, 20 teens. And won the Open, I think, in 2008, 2012, something like one at Liverpool. So a proper, links course.
A proper test.
Proper test for sure. And then she started playing the JLPGA and wasn't really traveling during COVID. And then came out of retirement for the U.S. Women's Open at Pebble in 2023, finished 3rd there, which was a really linksy test. Backs it up by finishing 3rd at the U.S. Women's Open. And then last year was in the final group, finishes 2nd at the Old Course. So she is a links. And then in December, she beat Ash Buhai and Minjee Lee in Australia. And so there's another links one for her.
Are
100 to 1.
you that? I mean, that seems like a no-brainer. If she's there because she knows this is the weeks that she could win. But I also
Yeah.
want to ask. We bet Ash Buhai a lot. Are you gonna go back to her? She's like
Maybe
170.
if she's like 200, maybe.
Yeah, I see
Like her
170.
game hasn't been great, but like I feel like with links courses, like you can sort of just find it. It becomes a happy
Right.
place and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like
No,
but
before what were you gonna say?
I have some questions for you just because this might be me capping
I
off the
have
major
I have some
season.
questions from you too. So you go first.
These are a bit broader. I think I figured out how to bet Scotty on the PGA Tour.
What's that?
Is that you look at his wins this year, there are 4. Is that correct?
It was the Open, it was Memorial, it was blanking.
Byron, or CJ
and
Cup, and then PGA.
and the word before that, PGA.
Okay. And they were all by 3 or 4 shots, right?
Yeah.
You can bet so I was looking at it. Scotty at the Open, I think he was 9.5 to 1 to win by 3 or more on Bet 365. I think for betting Scotty, you can juice it up almost by half.
Yeah. No, I think he wins in that regard more than most people.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's fun. And then the other thing I've been doing, which has been actually saving my bacon, giving me a bit of success. I think it mostly works at the majors, but when you get a fluky first round leader or guy up there bet on Thursday night betting the to miss the cut on Friday. So I hit
Luke Donald.
I missed Donald by 1. That was a sweat,
Yeah.
but I hit Kaukanjana at the Open, and then I hit Castillo last week at 14 to 1. So I'm starting to build these cards, and it's going pretty good. I'm 2 for 2. So maybe like the hater card is what I need to lean into.
I mean, I'm in. We see that all the time, like quick ejects off of a random first round lead. It's tough to handle the pressure. I mean, Skov Olsen, he made the cut, I believe, at the Open, but that was not a pretty start. He made an 8 on the first hole, so I love that. I really do love that.
He had to make I think 4 putts outside 10 feet to shoot that, including a 10-footer for 8.
That is incredible. But my question for you before we adjourn is, at the end of the major season, we've seen them all this year. For potentially next year, what is maybe not even major? I'll open it up. What is the most? Actually, no, I'll keep it with majors. You have your best majors list, but what will be the most Bootsable major next year
for the women?
Yeah, like for the women out of the 5. Like if we had to pick one to boots, which one are we going to get the most out of? Just what are we going to get the most out of?
Let me pull it up right here. And here's what I'm thinking is in terms of logistics, because I feel like I was looking at this recently and there are some bangers coming. So we know that you're not going to go to Houston for Chevron.
No.
Evian would be a great Euro vacation, but I think that you probably want to, go someplace else. Okay, here we go. I'm pulling up the dates now.
Because we got where's the U.S. Open? You have it?
I'm trying to find it here, but it keeps telling me where the men's majors are, which
LPGA schedule 2026. Let's see if I see it too. I don't see it. Maybe they don't have any majors next year?
That would be interesting. I mean, they're definitely having Chevron.
The U.S. Women's Open is at Riviera. The PGA is at Hazeltine. The British Women's Open is at Royal Lytham and St. Anne's.
Sweet. So, that's all great. But I mean, I feel like, have you already been to Riviera? Have you been there in your life?
No.
I mean, it's a blast.
We were going to go this year, but then it changed.
And Riviera, you get the benefit of kind of getting your eyes on the ground for the Olympics in 2028.
So that might be
where Decky and Takeda are going to pair up in the mixed event and win
by record margins. So I think it's Riviera. Maybe we could do that next year. And that wouldn't be the craziest logistical situation to get to.
No, I've heard that Los Angeles is a big place. They have an
People
airport.
do say that. People do say that. Yeah.
So then, what I was going to ask you, because we had the worst beat of maybe
sports history. Maybe.
Yeah, sports history. Maybe. Do you have a favorite bet that you've ever made? Because I think that you and Adam both were on Tom Kim in 2023.
I wasn't. Right? He was sharp.
You weren't?
He was sharp.
Oh, okay.
He was the OG guy to win at a horrible number, like one of the first.
Yeah. Shout out Jake Knapp. Okay,
yeah,
so do you have a favorite win?
I honestly it really might be Chris Goddard 100-1 because he's one of my true guys, and hitting him 100-1 over, it really might be.
No,
that's up there. Or Dale Whitnell 250-1 at the Scandy Mixed. Those two.
I will tell you one thing: you will not find Dale Whitnell on the chart anytime soon.
No, I definitely won't. Definitely won't. Dale Whitnell. I can't believe that bet came through. He won by a lot too.
Yeah, well, of course he did. He's Dale Whitnell.
He's Dale Whitnell. What is your favorite bet full time?
Okay, my favorite bet, it was during the Sochi Winter Olympics during COVID. So was it 2020? It was supposed to be 2020, but it was 2021. Whatever. This is where we're deep into the weeds, and I'm gonna whatever. Interest rates were quite low during COVID, so these credit cards were giving you crazy credit card sign-up offers, but you just had to get a minimum spend in, right?
Yeah.
And it was $3,000, and then you would get something like 50,000 points, but they were doubling up the value of points, so it was working out to be $1,000, whatever. But the Canadian women's hockey team was really, really good. And it was really good. It was really good. And so I went to, they were playing Russia, and I think they were 1.02 or minus 5,000 kind of thing. So I was going to various grocery stores to use the grocery store where it was 5x the points, and getting to the minimum spend, hitting up every grocery store close to me, and sitting down. I'm ready to hit my minimum spend. I'm probably going to make $100 first off, however much I initially spent on it, but whatever. And the game's supposed to start at 11 p.m. my time. No one is to be seen at all. And that's when I start sweating. And for 30 minutes, I'm sweating. It turns out that there has been an apparent COVID breach, or they think that there's a COVID breach. So the Canadian team finally comes out in these big hazmat masks. It's goofy. I mean, maybe that's the picture that we put up here, the Canadian women. And I don't know how they were breathing. Their masks were all fogged up, but they won 6-1 or 6-2. And taking all of those tickets to the local grocery store to cash them in, that was my favorite bet.
That is a great story. I mean, that 30 minutes of uncertainty had to have been one of the worst moments, though. But it turned out.
Yes.
It turned out all right.
Yes.
It turned out all right. That is a beautiful story. But Riss, thank you for joining.
No, thank you for having me. And I think that, this is the end of the major season. But the one thing I will tell listeners is that I think that you could maybe make an argument that the CME in Florida, kind of near where you are anyway, with the $4 million prize, almost 2.5 times the purse of any women's major in November, that might be the sneaky 5th/6th major. So maybe we'll do something for that.
Maybe we want to schedule a little flight. We'll see where we're at for the week. A little boots action, a little golf, because I need you as my resident golf coach to get me over the line. But we're doing great. The signs are heading in the right direction. I had a decent playing in Northern Ireland. The courses were not easy, but I hit the ball fairly well. That transitioned into some great golf back in the States after. So we're trending in the right direction, and I don't know if par is in the tables soon, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, the only limitation is the only limitations you put on yourself. So I think we can get there. And what better way to inspire confidence than the Decky Takeda official parlay that is going to hit this week?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Riss, thank you for joining. Great show. Thank you for filling in for our boss, Adam. And we will catch you guys again next week. And have a great week. Hopefully we hit 3 winners this week, 2 winners this week. Definitely gonna hit that parlay. Head to the site to get the info. Peace out.
Thank you.